Welcome, everybody, to the first edition of Dynamic CRM Coaching that is presented by InfoGrow. I am your host, Tanya Deuce Stevenson, and also with me today is Zachary Lobenthal. Go ahead and say hi, Zach.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, welcome to Dynamics 365 Brew. Today, we're going to talk about a new year and a new you, how to get the most of the Dynamics 365 value. So what do we have brewing today? A CRM is only as good as its users. CRM is only as good as it's used. And today we're going to talk about tracking competitors. I don't know how many people track competitors. As far as I know, not a lot of people. So this is a great little tip that we're going to talk about today.
And first, I'm going to talk about CRM is only as good as its users. So what does this mean? The business processes that are implemented inside of your CRM are only as good as the data that is being entered into it. You wouldn't want to be a passenger on an airplane with a captain that doesn't know how to fly, would you?
Not me.
No. Incomplete and missing data can only have negative effects on your CRM. It can cause harm to the relationships you have with your customers, your forecasting strategies, reporting, and so much more. This bad data can lead to ill-informed business decisions and ultimately cause long-term damage to your organization. In order to maintain a healthy CRM, users must make sure to understand company business processes, understand the data, understand how to navigate the CRM, and complete basic and pertinent information fields when creating records, and follow playbooks and business process flows where applicable. Let's talk about evolution. Like technology, organizations and their corresponding business processes are constantly evolving. As technology evolves, so might business process. Because of the constant evolution, it is important to make sure that your CRM evolves as well as your users. It is important to train your users regularly so they are up to date, know how to navigate the CRM correctly, and are accurate in performance inside of the CRM to maintain its integrity. If your CRM users are all of the above, then the data that is so crucial in executing your business processes will be clean, up to date, and accurate as well. Our next brew point is that a CRM is only as good as is used. So our last point was only good as its users, but now let's talk about it's only good as it's used.
Because honestly, when it comes to a CRM technology, 80% of your problems and issues always come from your users. I hate to say that, but it's true because it's only 20% technology. If you have the technology in place, but it's not being used correctly, it's really an invalid piece of what's the word I'm looking for? Tool. It's not a good tool. If you're not using it correctly, what's the point of having it? Think of your CRM as a flower. What happens if you stop watering and nurturing that flower? Well, nothing happens. The flower dies, it wilts on the vine. You end up with a sad potted plant over in the corner, and you feel guilty because, wow, you spent all this energy in getting this great plant, but then you let it die because you just didn't know how to nurture it correctly. Common causes for malnourishment and abandonment of the CRM are a lack of a CRM strategy. That involves everybody on the team. Don't just think about from a top-down IT perspective. Think about it. Who's going to be using this? What are the endpoints of getting this? You kind of want to take advantage of your entire team when coming up with a strategy. You need to get champions. You need to have stakeholders, and everybody needs to be involved that will be using this on a daily basis. Because if you don't have buy-in, having your strategy is great, but if you don't have buy-in, it's not going to work. The second thing is the lack of attention to process or no processes at all. How do you do business on a daily basis? What works from point A to point B to point Z to the end sale? What's going to work for you? If you don't have one, or the one that you do have and it isn't followed at all, there's really no point in having it. The next one is the lack of executive commitment. Think about from the top down. If your VP of sales really wants this product, he's going to be pushing this on his salespeople saying, hey, this is the best thing we have. This is great. But if you don't have that commitment from the upper levels of the organization, it's going to become an IT project and nobody's going to care, and it's not going to be used in an effective manner. The next thing that really hampers your use of a CRM is poor data quality. If you don't have good data, there's no point in having the CRM. If you have outdated data, for perhaps somebody leaves a company, but you don't know that because the data in CRM is outdated. This is one of the things that really renders your CRM ineffective. And the last thing is the failure of user adoption once it's implemented. This is where it comes down to having a champion, having someone who really knows the system and loves the system and really is a cheerleader for how this system is going to be used. And I know that when you evaluated your CRM process, you were like, oh, this is great. This is the best thing ever. So let's just reiterate the key points and the benefits of having dynamic CRM. One of the main ones is the organization. Customers are what keep businesses running, so it makes sense to have all the information you need regarding them in one place. Think about if you have an issue at John Smith's air conditioning and you go to sell them a new unit, but you don't know that they have a problem because you don't have that information in CRM. That's the beauty of CRM. You can keep all that information there. You can make notes about problems or issues that are arrive. You can keep notes on if there's personnel changes. You can keep notes on all kinds of communications, and having it all in one place, having a one view picture of a customer is probably the best benefit of having it. Increased marketing is the next one. To streamline your workflow, tasks such as email drips can easily be done with marketing automation. You can use marketing list, you can use click dimensions or any other type of marketing tools like HubSpot or MailChimp to do marketing that is actually recorded in your CRM. So you have a record of things that you've sent to them all in one place on either the customer record or on the marketing record. The next one is better customer service and satisfaction, ability to build strong relationships with customers, take actions based on insights, and you can close deals faster than ever. This goes back to what I was saying about knowing whether or not you're having an issue with a customer. Do you know that this salesperson dropped the ball on something? You don't if that information isn't in CRM. You might know. You also might know that this customer is extremely happy with your service and hey, that's a good idea, send them a Christmas card. Another one is improved customer retention. This comes directly from that better customer service and satisfaction that we've talked about already. Oh, and here we have even more. More benefits of using dynamic CRM. Data analytics. Give ability to view your sales data and draw conclusions. You know what's really cool about that is you can say, there's an opportunity coming up here that maybe they didn't know about, or maybe you didn't realize was happening. And how do you know this? You know this by watching your previous opportunities. You know by you're able to better forecast based upon your sales trends. And in this, you can make better business decisions. If you find that you're not getting the information you want, we can help you find that. Another thing is the availability to view, share, and distribute your data easily throughout your organization. How can we do this? We can do this by the built-in dashboards that are inside of CRM, or we could also use Power BI to give even more insight that can be distributed outside of users of CRM. All the above mentioned things lead most importantly, to increased sales. At the end of the day, that's what we all want. We want better customer retention and better sales for our customers. We want to sell more to our customers. If you don't use your CRM as much as you should, or if you're already using your CRM effectively and want to get the most value of it, then this is a good place to start. We can help you with that. And this all leads us to our last brew point for today's session. Zach is going to talk about tracking competitors.
So tracking competitors. Are you tracking your competitors? Like Tanya said, most of the time we find that our customers aren't tracking our competitors, and this is a big disadvantage. If you aren't tracking your competitors, it's like placing a bet on the Super Bowl, which is right around the corner, without knowing who is even in the playoffs. How do you know who you're competing with? What are they doing better? What can we be doing better? When you're tracking competitors, you gain knowledge. And with that gain knowledge, it leads to increased sales. Like other records in Dynamics 365, organizations can collect pertinent information all in one place regarding their competitors. The record for a competitor allows you to save information such as website, locations, timeline activities, strengths and weaknesses, amongst other useful information. By tracking competitors, it allows you to disperse this information to everybody who deals with a lead or an opportunity in your company, which leads to them being able to effectively compete, close a sale, and maintain a healthy relationship with clients. Competitor tracking can also help users compare opportunities lost to a competitor and opportunities won against them as well. Competitors can be tracked on the leads as well as the opportunity entities, as we mentioned.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to our Q&A in just a minute. So think about anything that you want to ask us regarding tracking competitors or even just Dynamics in general. And we will be available to answer your questions live. Or you can drop us an email to info@infogrowcorp.com or reach out directly to our phone number at 330-929-1353, extension 5224. Now, just so you know, if you call that number, you're going to get to talk to Bob. So that's great. And if you'll stick with us for a moment, we'll go live in just a second.